I'm Ilya Marchenko.
I'm Dennis Kudla.
I'm Jesper de Jong.
I'm Henry Laakson.
I am Francisco Cerundolo, and you are listening to the Game to Love podcast.
Hey, welcome back, tennis fans. Sorry for the delay. It seems like the streaming site I usually use to watch games is not working for Queen, so I had to find another streaming service. So I'm using the official tennis TV site now. So unfortunately, there will be a bit of a delay. So I do apologize for that, as we see Cam Norrie comfortably holding his first service game. Sean saying, yeah, Draper, the Giant Slayer. That was fascinating to see. Tell me in the chat, did you watch that match? What did you think about the play? I thought, yes, Draper played very well, but I also think that Taylor Swift wasn't 100%. I think physically his fitness wasn't there, but still it's a very good performance there by Draper. Hi, G, nice to have you in the chat as well. And hi, Milan. So tell me in the chat, what is your prediction for this mouth-watering first round match between Grigor Dimitrov, as we know, a previous champion of Queens, and then Norrie, a previous finalist of Queens. So tell me in the chat, what is your prediction for this match? As we see Dimitrov hitting a forehand winner, they're down the line 15-love. It's just so beautiful to see, is it not? Like the grass season, especially Queens, you can see the grass is in such a good condition, especially in the start of this tournament. I felt like Stuttgart, especially yesterday we saw in the final, the grass was just in terrible condition. It looked horrendous, the match between Berrettini and Murray. While you saw, like, for example, at Nottingham, I thought the grass there looked in excellent condition. So it's interesting to see the difference in the grass conditions between these tournaments. And Queens today, it just looks amazing, I must say. Yeah, Gene saying Draper looked excellent and he's a grass court specialist. Yeah, we saw him play very well against Djokovic as well in the Wimbledon. Was it last year, I think, in the first round match, where he looked very good. Benji saying Norrie is going to take this in 3. Milan saying Cam Norrie in straight sets. Gene saying Norrie in 3. So far, everybody is going for Norrie. Muad saying, I'm really excited for Jack Draper. He's a really good grass court player. I reckon he will do well in Wimbledon. So it looks like I'm the only player saying Dimitrov. But I can see why the odds are probably in Norrie's favor. I'm going for Grigor Dimitrov. I think he played such a good clay court season, and clay is not really his favorite surface. So I'm going, like, given how well he played on clay and how good he is usually on grass, I'm going for Dimitrov. And not only am I going for Grigor for this match, I'm actually going Grigor to win the whole tournament. That's what I went for in my fantasy league. I know it's probably ridiculous, but I just felt like yesterday when I went match for match, in the end, it seemed like Norrie or Grigor was my tournament winner. As we see a lovely touch there by Grigor Dimitrov to take it to 40-15. So yeah, I'm going for Grigor to win the whole thing. Call me crazy, but that's what I got. Yeah, Jing saying that's bold. It is very bold. I'm just tired every time I pick these obvious things, and then you get these upsets, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I should have went for the upsets. Now I'm like, I'm just gonna go for upsets. So I got in the final, I got Dimitrov against, is it Cilic, I think. And then in Halle, I've got Felix winning the whole thing, which is the same as Ben and JG I saw in their predictions as well. I saw yesterday, looking at the predictions videos. If you haven't seen it, go to the Game to Love channel. Very interesting, where Ben and JG talk through their predictions for both Halle and Queens. And I see, I can't remember now exactly who, but one person went Dimitrov losing today against Norrie, and the other person went for Dimitrov losing the next round against, I can't remember now, was it Opelka? And we saw Opelka lose now today. Now, that being said, right, I'm going for Dimitrov, and that's hit it long by Dimitrov, and umpire says, no, it's good. 1 game all. So far, I'm 0 out of 3 with my predictions. I got Dimino wrong. I thought Dimino would lose against, was it Apelka? So Apelka lost against Diminor today, so I got that wrong. And I got Draper wrong as well. I thought Fritz would beat him. And then also Ramos Vanolas I got wrong. I thought he would have won against Fokina, but Fokina won. So far, I'm 0 out of 3. So obviously I'll be wrong today with this match as well. Sean saying Dimitrov is babyface. A queen should be easy for him. Well, yeah, he won queens previously. I remember that match. It was a final against, I think, Feliciano Lopez, and it was a great match. Sharifa saying, I really want Dimitrov to win the whole thing, but Norrie is too good on grass. Yeah, we'll see. And he has the home advantage as well, so the crowd will be behind him. And yeah, he's a finalist from the previous year, so it should be a very tough challenge for Grigor. Oh, Gene saying Rublev lost in straight sets. That was bad. I didn't even notice that. Was that today then at Halle, I assume? Okay, so that's quite surprising. Yeah, Sharifa saying, I agree with relating to Grigor, who had such a good clay season, saying his slice backhand was on fire in the clay season. And I think the slice in the grass season would be even more like, important shot to have. So I am going big on Grigor for this grass court season. Gene saying Basilashvili. Yeah, so it was Basilashvili then beating Rublev. I think one of the guys, Ben or JG, got actually said Basilashvili is going to win that match against Rublev. So well done to them. Gene, yeah, wow, you're 3-3 in Queens today. Well done. That's impressive. As we see Grigor not able to return that ball, as we'll see very often in grass, it being so fast. It's just so difficult to even get the serve back. I do feel like Queens is a bit slower than Halle. Comment if you disagree with that, but it seems to me like if you look at the length of the rallies, it seems like Queens is a bit slower and more similar to Wimbledon. Wimbledon also being a bit slower than Halle, which it seems like Halle is just extremely fast. And I think Stuttgart is quite fast as well. Jing saying that Rune lost to Busta. Oh, okay, that's interesting. A Carreno Busta, that is, right? Not Batista. Yeah, Carreno Busta. That is quite a surprise. As Norrie is serving now to the backhand of Dimitrov. Norrie going down the line for a winner. And it's 2-1 on serve for Cameron Norrie. Yeah, Jing saying Halle is lightning strict and Queens is slower. Yeah, that's also the idea I had from previous years. And I think also surface being so quick, it's therefore also more prone to upsets because then it's totally in the hands of the server. And then you have less control as a returner of the point. So then it's more prone to upsets if the court is that quick. So yeah, we've seen, for example, Federer in the past where he really struggles in the beginning of Halle. And then it goes to tiebreaks, and you would think, okay, he's struggling. But it's just the surface is so quick that it's really, really difficult to break in Queens. Oh, I remember now. Also, one bold prediction I have for Halle is that I have David Goffin making the final. Now, I know he's playing Medvedev in the first round, but I don't think it's today. Eh? So I actually have Goffin making the final and play against Felix in the final there. So that's also another bold prediction. Yeah, so tell me in the chats, what predictions do you have for Queens and for Halle overall? I would like to hear your opinions. Sherifa saying Basilashvili is a dark horse. Yeah, he did so well against Kyrgios in Stuttgart. It was a close game. So yeah, he can be very dangerous. I remember, was it also Ben or JG said yesterday, like he's the Ostapenko of the ATP draw, which I think is quite a good assessment. Jing saying I have RBA making the semifinals. Oh, very, very good grass court player. He made the semifinals of Wimbledon that one year. I remember they debated also yesterday in the draw preview, Ben and JG, of like Batista Agut versus Fiksovic. And then JG mentioned, yeah, Batista Agut making the semifinals of Wimbledon that one year, 2019, where it was against Djokovic, and the other semifinal was Rafa and Roger. But as far as I remember, Fucsovic also made the semifinal of Wimbledon, I think last year. Was it the quarterfinal or was it the semifinal that he made in Wimbledon? I want to say it's the semifinal, but correct me in the chat if I'm wrong. Sean saying, I feel like the GOAT debate is a bit skewed because the surfaces are more similar to each other than in the modern era. Definitely, I agree with that. I don't think that nullifies the GOAT debate, but it's definitely something that is true, right? And people wouldn't say, "Oh, you're trying to make excuses." It's not excuses. It's a I think a fact that everybody would agree that is true. Now, that is not to say now that Yeah, I don't know. So I would say it's true, but I think we should be careful of using that as an excuse for the GOAT debate, right? You should be able to adapt to however the game evolves. Because if you now bring these arguments in, then you can also say, okay, well, the rackets change, and you can say, well, previously a lot of the Grand Slams were grass. So there are all these factors that come into play, whether fair or not, but it's definitely a factor or a true fact that the surfaces are much more similar to each other than they were in the past. Definitely. So Milan asking there in the chat for Gene, who do you have winning Halle? And Gene saying he doesn't want to talk about it. So I'm guessing that his person lost already. But let me know. Nothing to be ashamed about, especially on grass. I mean, that's definitely the most, what do you call, upset prone surface. Yeah, so with the courts being more the same these years than in the past, I think you also saw it, like if you see Sampras, he never made it past the quarterfinal of Roland Garros, right? And you had your specialists, you had your grass court specialists and clay court specialists, and now it's more like if you're a good player, you are good on both, which just makes, I feel, in my opinion, the accomplishments of Bjorn Borg even more amazing. Thinking that he did so well on Wimbledon and so well in Roland Garros, despite the surfaces being so different at that stage. While I think these days, if you look at the speed of Wimbledon, for example, it decreased drastically. Tim saying homogeneous surfaces, I think, levels the GOAT debate. Greatest player despite some adjustments per surface. So with regards to the GOAT debate, and I guess you're never gonna avoid that debate for years to come. So when it comes to my opinion, in my opinion, it's very straightforward. There's this website called Ultimate Tennis Statistics, and they have a GOAT calculator. So if you just go and Google GOAT calculator, then I think it will actually pop up. Let's see whether that's actually true. So I'm just going to Google a tennis GOAT calculator. And then the first thing coming up is Ultimate Tennis Statistics. And they have this calculator. And according to me, this is the most fair way of calculating the GOAT because it takes into account all the possible variables that you could have. I know a lot of people say, no, you just look at the Grand Slam tally. And yes, that's a very easy way to do it. But for me, that's not quite fair. Because when you look only at the Grand Slam count, then you regard a first round loss the same as losing in the final, which to me is not really fair. So I don't think you can just look at how much you won. It also needs to depend on how far you got in each tournament than when you did not win. So yeah, I think it's not as simple as counting the quantity of Grand Slams. Oh, Michael saying Sampras got to the semifinals at Roland Garros. Okay, I did not know that. I thought quarterfinal was his best performance, but okay, that is interesting. Jing saying, Rublev winning. All right. Yeah, so you're obviously out for the fantasy league. As Norrie is now serving at 40 love on my stream. Apologies that it's a bit behind. And he serves an ace. Very comfortable service hold there by Norrie. So both servers so far comfortably holding their serve. And it's just so beautiful, the grass court, hey? If you look at the views and the court. What bothers me a bit from the Halle court is that you have these shades because they have the roof. Like I assume they use the stadium for other sports as well. So then you have these like pillars on top, and then it causes these shades on court. And that bothers me, like looking at the shades on court when you're looking at the camera. But I also feel like the camera angle of Halle is a bit odd. It's like it's further away, so you don't feel as involved with the match watching Halle as you do with Queens. So for me, actually, watching Queens is a more beautiful experience in terms of the surroundings. Tell me if you agree in the chat. What's also interesting is that I feel like the draw for Halle this year is better than the draw for Queens. And I think that's partially due to Russian players not allowed in Queens. So all of them are playing Halle by default, or if they choose to play, it will be Halle. So yeah, it's interesting to see that Halle, in my opinion, and tell me if you agree, that they have a better draw in terms of the players are higher quality. I first did my predictions on the TNS app for for Halle first. And then I was like, it was quite difficult from round one to make these predictions. And then when I went to Queens, I'm like, oh, but these are all like clay court players, especially with a draw for Casper Ruud. I think he has a very, very easy draw. Like the first three matches, he's playing players that are not really grass court players. Okay, Gene saying I have Chilik winning Queens. Yeah, I think that's a very good prediction. I think he can do very, very well in the grass court season. Michael asking where I'm not sure if you refer to me. So I'm from South Africa. Yeah, Gene also there noticing the shades they have at Halle, which just it just bothers the view. Sharif asking where I'm watching the match. I'm currently watching on the official Tennis TV app. So I think that's why there is a bit of a delay between my scorecard and the stream on Tennis TV. Okay, Dreamt asking, how do they make the grass court faster than other grass courts? Taller grass, that's a great question. And I don't know. I don't know the answer at all. I know that it also depends a lot on the type of grass. So not only do you have a differentiation in the length, but also the type of grass that they use can also have a big influence on the speed of the court. So I know, for example, with Wimbledon, they started using a different type of grass at a later stage, which then slowed it down. Apparently, the reason for the change in grass is that it protects the grass in the sense that it holds longer, so it doesn't look as deteriorated at the end of the tournament. So the grass has more like endurance, if you can word it like that, but it does slow it down. But I don't know what other factors can influence the speed of the grass. But tell me in the chat if you maybe know. Okay, Michael saying you prefer Halle. Interesting. So as a Federer fan myself, I also usually preferred watching Halle because I like watching him play. But just for me on screen, the picture, if you take a screenshot of Queens and a screenshot of Halle, I don't know, Queens just looks more beautiful to me. Sean saying Queen is quite a posh place. Been there a couple of times. Also, okay, that's interesting. So I guess you get out, you sort of get the Wimbledon vibe when you are at Queens. Probably not exactly the same, but I guess it's more. I think Queens is more in line with the vibe you'll get at Wimbledon than, for example, Halle. Especially also given that the Halle is like in a stadium that is played like other sports as well. Yeah, Jing also commenting that the draw in Halle is a bit better. My accent is very unique. So my first language is Afrikaans, it's a language other than English. So I think it's because English isn't my first language that the accent is a bit, I would regard it as bad. Not a good accent, but yeah. Hey, Casey, nice to have you in the chat again. As NORRIE is now serving at 15 love, so both players holding their serve quite comfortably. NORRIE serving to the forehand of Dimitrov, who just as a block return, now Dimitrov with a slice, and a slice again by Dimitrov. NORRIE now with a forehand to the backhand of Dimitrov. Dimitrov now with a drop shot. NORRIE is able to get there, and now NORRIE tries to go down the line. He's not able to do that. So it's good speed there by Cameron Norrie. It's always interesting to see the players when they play their first matches on grass. They do look a bit uncomfortable. I saw today as well, like Taylor Fritz. He plays so much topspin on his forehand because he's scared of overhitting the ball on grass. While with clay, you more like have a free swing. So yeah, it's interesting to see. And now the drop shots also not really executing at the start. Players are getting to the drop shots quite easily. Interesting also to see how they now move to the slices of the backhand. While in clay, as you probably know, they have more like a topspin vibe going on. NORRIE with a second serve at 40 love. to the forehand of Grigor. Cam now with a backhand to the forehand of Grigor, who hits it long, and it's 4-3 for Cameron Norrie.
One thing that is true, he knows what to do. Don't worry, for Cam Norrie's heading through. If one thing that is true, he knows what to do. Knows what to do. Don't worry, Cam Norrie's heading through.
Yeah, as the change ends, both players holding their serve comfortably, as you probably would expect on grass. Not much drama yet, but as we get to the business end of the set, I'm sure we'll see some exciting and points that will then determine the outcome of the set. Casey asking, Haman, can we have a little Afrikaans? My mom was from South Africa too. So Casey, do you understand Afrikaans? I will definitely speak a bit of Afrikaans. Dis 'n pragtige dag hier by die Queen's Tennis Club. Ons kyk hier vir Cameron Norrie. Ek dink hy is van Suid-Afrika oorspronklik, sover ek reg is, teen Grigor DIMITROV hier op die grasbaan. Gras, so pragtig om te sien. Die bal gaan vinniger as wat dit gewoonlik gaan. Op klei is maar 'n bietjie stadig, en dan kan al die rallies, ek weet nie wat dit in Afrikaans is nie, kan maar 'n bietjie lank aanhou. So dit is mooi om te sien op gras, hoe hulle variasie in die spel inkom. Is regtig mooi om te sien. Gras, my gunsteling baan van al die bane, moet ek sê. There you go. Grigor will now serve 3-4. If Norrie is able to break here, you will then serve for this first set. Grigor serving. An ace. Comfortable. Casey saying, don't understand it, but I would hear talking on the phone to family and friends back home. All right. Ja, Jensen, gras is baie mooi. Dit is baie mooi. So maar kyk of dit nog steeds so mooi is aan die einde, maar vir nou is dit in baie goeie toestand. All right, Grigor serving now at 15 love. Second serve. To the forehand of Cam Norrie. Tries to hit it down the line, but it's long. 30 love. But I must say, it will be odd to watch Wimbledon without Federer, right? Because he's been playing Wimbledon every year. So to see that whole vibe of Wimbledon and he's not playing would be odd. So I'm actually hoping that Rafa would be playing. Despite being a Federer fan, you would think, okay, I would maybe hope that Rafa is not playing because I don't want him to get more Grand Slams. But I would love to see Rafa play there at Wimbledon. I think if it's only Djokovic, then it just becomes a bit like, you know, one-sided. Game by Grigor, game to love. And it's 4-all. All right, 4-all, and Norrie will now be serving. As the lefty serves to the forehand of Grigor, tries to block return it, but it goes long. Now, the block return, I think, is very underrated in tennis. I think Roger has implemented it so successfully, especially on grass. So if you can get that block return deep, I think you could cause some trouble as you neutralize the rally then from the first point. As Norrie is now serving at 15 love, second serve. To the backhand of Grigor, who tries to go with the backhand down the line, but it's also long, 30 love. Hey, Cedric, nice to have you in the chat. So I think the winner of this match was poised to play a Pelka in the next round. Am I right? Let's check quickly queen's draw. And now with Opelka being out, this is actually quite an opportunity for both of them. Let's check whether am I correct. Where is Grigor? There we go. Oh no, okay, so the winner of that is poised to play the winner between Paul Jubb and Botic van der Zandschulp. And then they were poised to play Opelka in that next round, which is now not going to be Opelka. And that is definitely a player that you want to avoid on grass because good service day, there isn't much you can do about it. I remember now, I think either Ben or JG said that Botic van der Zandschulp is going to be Grigor in the second round if Grigor is able to make this first round. As NORRIE is now serving at 30-15, he goes for a forehand winner, and it is successful, 40-15. Gene also saying, the block return on grass is very effective. Somebody like Tsitsipas needs it. Yeah, I fully agree with that. Tsitsipas tries to put the backhand return with some like topspin, big backhand return, and that's just not going to happen. So yeah, I also fully agree with that. The block return is definitely something he should add to his arsenal. Grigor, Cam NORRIE serving at 40-15. Net first service. Oh, wow, that's a big ace. Nothing anybody could do about that. And it's 5-4. So far, each player has held their serve fairly comfortably. I don't think we've went to deuce once. So Grigor will now serve next to stay in the match. But so far, Cameron Norrie, if you're a British fan, doing very well.
One thing that is true, he knows what to do. Don't worry, for Cam NORRIE's heading through. If one thing that is true, he knows what to do. Knows what to do. Don't worry, Cam NORRIE's heading through.
All right, and as we see, the stadium is packed. Like, I don't think there are any empty seats here in London, which is also very, very nice to see. Gene noticing that one thing I can say about NORRIE is that he's very reliable in the early rounds. Yeah, Shame, I feel for him. This is a very, very difficult first round matchup. Like, it could have been much easier to face Grigor Dimitrov, a previous champion and a previous Wimbledon semi-finalist in the first round. That is bad luck. I mean, if you look about the other first round matches, thinking that NORRIE is seeded 8th. No, he's not seeded 8th. He's seeded 3rd. Wow. He's seeded 3rd, and he gets Grigor Dimitrov in the first round. And then you have someone like Denis Shapovalov, who's seeded 6th, but he has Tommy Paul in the first round. And I would, tell me if you disagree, but I would rather face Tommy Paul than Grigor Dimitrov on grass. And then Cilic, for example, he's 7th, and he faces Liam Brody in the first round. So it's always interesting to see how being seeded higher doesn't necessarily mean that you're now going to have an easier first round match. And NORRIE takes the first point of the service game of Dimitrov. It's love 15. As Grigor serves a fault. Second serve. Second serve there by Grigor. Goes with a forehand. And now he approaches the net and he hits for a winner down the line. And it's 15-all. That's well done there by Grigor. Yeah, Gene noticing here that, especially in these 500 tournaments with no buys, you could immediately face a top 25 player early on. Yeah, that's always scary when I see the draw. You would think that, okay, 500 equals easier, right? But then always when I look at the draw, then I'm also like, oh, wow, because immediately you face an opponent that you can lose to in a 500 match. I mean, look at, for example, Halle. Medvedev is facing David Goffin in the first round. I mean, that's just insane. So yeah, you could really face a difficult opponent in your first round already in these smaller tournaments, as there are less people participating in the tournament. 40-15 by Grigor. Now remember, David Goffin is a previous finalist in Halle, so he could be very dangerous there. Second serve by Grigor at 40-15. Double fault. Oh, no, sorry. The first one was... Oh, it was a double fault, yeah. 40-30. Net for service there by Grigor. As a big serve there by Grigor. He now goes for a cross-court winner, and this is just too big to handle for NORRIE, and it's 5 games all. And another good hold there for Grigor Dimitrov. I must say, it's a very clean match thus far. Not a lot of unforced errors, not a lot of long rallies. It's just both players holding their serve very comfortably and finishing each point within, let's say, 1, 2, 3 shots. While I thought with the match between Fritz and Draper, there were a lot of rallies and it usually ended with an unforced error. So I think the match we've seen so far from a neutral perspective has just been clean at tennis, as we probably would expect from these two players, as they both have very good records on grass. NORRIE serving to the backhand of Grigor. And now with the forehand, and it's in. Grigor now with the forehand tries to generate topspin. Now with the slice of Grigor. Now slice from NORRIE as well. Topspin backhand by Grigor. And now a topspin backhand down the line, but NORRIE is able to get there. Grigor in control of this rally. NORRIE now with the topspin forehand to the backhand of Grigor, but Grigor is able to handle that with his beautiful backhand. And NORRIE is that in the net, and it's 15-all. So it's good variety there by Grigor. Some shots he went for the topspin, some shots he went for the slice. So it's not very predictable, which is nice to see. Yep, Casey Dimitrov is a quality opponent. He definitely is. So I've mentioned previously that I've got him to actually win the whole tournament, which is quite a bold prediction, but that's what I'm going for. Big serve there by Cam NORRIE, and the return by Grigor goes wide, and it's 30-15. I'm just going to check my other streaming service, whether maybe now it works, just to get a stream that is more in sync with the scoreboard. No, doesn't work there. 40-15, and it seems like it's going now that we're heading to a tiebreak. I don't see any player breaking soon unless one of these players suddenly serves poorly, but it's both are serving very well. Hit long there by NORRIE. Good return there by Dimitrov on his backhand side. Sean saying, apparently NORRIE has crazy cardio. I feel like that's half the battle, same as in boxing. That is interesting. Yeah, because if you think of Cam NORRIE, it's not really, if you think like one shot that is the X factor, it's not really the case. He's just solid, you know. So it's interesting then fitness is often not seen really enough, like, or not appreciated enough, and how it can really elevate your entire game. So Cam Norrie holds his serve and is up 6-5 in this first set.
One thing that is true, he knows what to do. Don't worry, Cam Norrie's heading through. If one thing that is true, he knows what to do. Knows what to do. Don't worry, Cam Norrie's heading through.
I do think, however, if you look at Cam Norrie, that he does have a ceiling of what he can reach. Tell me if you disagree in the chat. But like, for example, after he won Indian Wells, he mentioned that his next goal is to become number one. And I thought that's just ridiculous. You're never going to get to number one, because I just feel like his best will never be good enough against these top players consistently. So I think he's one of those players I think he maximizes his talent, but I don't think he's like, a potential prospective number one. But tell me in the chat if you maybe disagree with that statement. Also, I remember when Cressy beat like someone, like, who was it? I can't remember. You'll probably remind me now in the chat. But he beat someone big in a Grand Slam. And then he was like, yes, I'm on my track to become world number one. And then I'm like, yes, can these people just calm down? Like, it's great to have these dreams and stuff, but you have to be realistic in what you're trying to achieve here. Dimitrov serving to stay in the set. So the backhand of Cam Norrie is a good wide serve there. And they're beautiful. 1+1. Serve wide and then with a forehand down the line. Just good tennis. Both players hitting the ball very cleanly this far. And you can see that they are also very comfortable moving on the grass, unlike many other players. 15 love, Grigor serving to the forehand of Cam Norrie. It's another good serve. And now he goes down the line. Cam gets there with like a slice return. And now Grigor with a beautiful backhand. Oh, that's just beautiful. It was your oil painting of a Federer backhand down the line. Cam Norrie was able to get there, but not get the ball back, and it's 30 love. Yeah, Gene also saying Norrie doesn't really have the weapons to beat the best. Yeah, if you have like a Norrie versus, well, Federer or Djokovic or Nadal match, you just know that it's going to be straight sets, unfortunately. Sheriff saying he's one of those challenging players that could cause an upset every now and then, but he'll never be a top 3 player. Yeah, I also think he won't, especially with the talent now coming through. Dimitrov serving at 40 love. An ace. And we are going to a tie break. Tell me in the chat below, who do you think is going to take this tiebreak and what is the final score of the set going to be? All right, let's see. We have Gene saying it's going to be 7-5 to Cam Norrie. I'm going to go for 11-9 Grigor. Net for a service. And let's see who can take this first set. So far, there's nothing in between them. Remember to hit a like button on this video if you're enjoying this coverage with me. Norrie serving. An ace. Nothing you can do about that. All right, we've got Michael saying Cam 7-2. Oh, wow. All right, interesting. Muad saying Dimitrov's going to take this 6-4. It can't be. It needs to be at least 7. Okay, let's see. Dimitrov now serving at his end. As he serves a fault, second serve, immediately a bit of pressure for Dimitrov. And I do apologize. I know my stream is a bit behind with the scoreboard. As Grigor is serving a second serve to the backhand of Cam Norrie, tries to go down the line, but he hits it wide. It's an error there from Norrie, and it's 1 apiece. What's saying? Yeah, 7-4. All right. For Dimitrov then. All right. Yeah, I'm going 11-9. I'm going for a very tight tiebreak, as I can't see any of them getting a mini break easily. But let's see. Grigor now serving. Big serve to the forehand on the tee. Grigor now with a backhand cross court. Norrie is able to pass. He read it perfectly. So Dimitrov went for a cross court backhand topspin, but Norrie was just standing there ready to receive it, and he went for a passing shot down the line. And I think Grigor would be upset that he didn't read the play there, because Norrie was just standing there ready for the cross-court backhand. So maybe Dimitrov, in retrospect, should have went for a backhand on the line, which is the more difficult shot over the higher part of the net. As Norrie has a mini break, and he's serving now at 2-1. He serves to the backhand of Grigor. He has a very nice block return, which goes deep. But Grigor hits that forehand long, and it's 3-1 for Norrie. All right, can Norrie consolidate these mini break? Serve in the net. Second serve opportunity here for Grigor. And Norrie serves a double fault. And the crowd is silent. And that wasn't even close. That's a very strange error there by Cam Norrie. It was very wide of the service box. And now we are back on serve in this tiebreak. Dimitrov now serving at 2-3. Dimitrov serving. Is a good return there by Cam Norrie. Now with a big forehand, cross-court Norrie winner there. And it's another mini break there by Cam Norrie. It's 2-4 in favor of Norrie, and they'll be changing ends in this tiebreak. It all started with a good return. It was a very, very deep return, which landed like on the line, which was very awkward for Grigor to handle. Yeah, Ginseng not being the best tiebreak. I agree. We've seen errors like for the first time in this match, in this tiebreak, probably as this player started getting a bit nervous. Grigor now serving at 2-4. I say Grigor is getting a bit bold there at the top. Hair thinning there a bit at the top. A fault. Second serve. To the backhand of Cam Norrie. It's another good deep return there by Norrie. Grigor now with a backhand, which goes long. Another error there by Grigor. And it's 5-2 for Cam Norrie, as he is now very comfortably ahead in this first set tiebreak. Norrie serving at 5-2. Serve there by Norrie in the net. Norrie serving to the backhand of Grigor, who does not return it at 6-2. And we've got several set points in the bag for Cam Norrie, of which the first one will be on his serve. 4 set points for Norrie. Serving an ace. And that's the first set. In the end, a very comfortable tiebreak there for the British player, Cameron Norrie.
One thing that is true, he knows what to do. Don't worry, Cam Norrie's heading through. If one thing that is true, he knows what to do. Knows what to do. Don't worry, Cam Norrie's heading through.
And this is where congratulations is in order. Michael, you said Cam 7-2, which I thought was a very bold prediction because the match was so tight throughout the first set. And then you predicted 7-2. And in the end, it was 7-2. So congratulations, Michael. Right, so it's the first set there by Cam Norrie. Not much between them throughout the games, so I won't say this match is now like done. Grigor can definitely make a comeback throughout this match. Total points won is 33 there by Grigor and 36 by Cam Norrie. So in the end, it's just the tiebreak where Grigor decided to self-destruct, unfortunately, with some backhand errors and maybe also some judgment in areas with regards to shot selection. Yeah, Michael, the time traveler. Please, Michael, tell us what is the second set score going to be? Or in your case, what was it? And as they show the grounds, I'm just so excited for Wimbledon. Always also the Wimbledon, the time that in my kids, like in my childhood days, where it's holiday and you can just watch Wimbledon the whole day. And I'm looking forward to that. I'll probably put in some leave for especially that second week. It's just nice to watch all the matches from the morning up until the evening. So Dimitrov will serve first in this first set. Let's see if we can have some of the same. I think the first set has been very high quality, except for the tiebreak there at the end. So just waiting for the crowd to take their seats. As Grigor serves to the backhand of Norrie. Grigor now tries to go for the forehand down the line, but it goes wide. And it's love 15. Hi, Anya. Nice to have you in the chat. Dimitrov serving at love 15. So that's the forehand of Cam Norrie. It goes then down the line. Cam is able to get there with his speed, but he's not able to pass, and it's 15 all as Dimitrov decided to approach the net there after hitting the forehand down the line. Grigor serving at 15 all. Down the tee, Norrie is not able to return that, and it's 30-15. And they're saying, just joined. Hate to see Dimitrov losing. Yeah, so what you've missed so far, both players have played excellently throughout the first set, including Grigor. I think he played really, really well. And then when it came to the tiebreak, unfortunately, he made some unusual errors. And now he's down a set. Oh, that's a brilliant cross-court top spin forehand there by Grigor. Hits that for a winner, and it's 40-15. So yeah, I won't be too worried about Grigor. I still think he definitely is into the match. It's not like he's playing badly overall. Oh, that's a beautiful forehand there by Grigor as his feet left the ground to hit it for a top spin winner. And it's an ace by Grigor Dimitrov, and he gets his first game on board for the second set. All right, so yeah, I don't think Grigor is out of this at all. I still think he can do some things in this match. He hasn't played badly. Let's see if he can put some pressure on Cam Norrie's serve immediately in this start of the second set. Norrie serving to the backhand of Grigor, is not able to return it. It's a good serve, especially with using his left hand to the right hand combination there to pull Grigor away to his backhand. Norrie serving again. That's very wide. Sean asking, can Norrie win a major? No. Not at all. No chance. Now, usually you would say, oh, it's possible. You never say never. No. I'm just going for a complete no. That's not going to happen. He's not going to make a final in his career, in my opinion. Sound a bit harsh, but that's what I'm going for. I don't think he can, like when it comes to the quarterfinal stage, I think the other players in the field are just have too much talent for him. As NORRIE is now serving to the backhand of Grigor. It's a very good slice return there by Grigor, who now tries to go down the line with a big forehand, but it's hit in the net. And it's 30-15. NORRIE now serving to the backhand of Grigor. There's a good deep return there. Now Grigor with a slice. NORRIE comes to the net. He's not able to put away the volley. It was a good deep return there by Grigor Dimitrov. And we're at 30 all. Maybe something can happen here. Big serve there to the forehand of Grigor, who slices it into the net. 40-30. NORRIE serves to the backhand of Grigor. Now NORRIE with a big cross-court forehand again. And slicing both players here. And now a slice forehand by Grigor. Grigor now... Oh no. NORRIE slices it wide and we're on deuce. Strange error there by NORRIE. Next question then by Dreamt. Can NORRIE win an ATP 1000? Well, he did already, didn't he? I think he won Indian Wells. Why am I now doubting myself? But I think he did. I think it was during COVID. When like nobody was participating. I think he won Indian Wells. Tell me in the chat if I'm correct. Sean saying I agree, just clutching at straws. So I'm going to make another bold prediction. I've actually made this last year, and I'm making this prediction again. I don't think Zverev is going to win any Grand Slams throughout his career. What? How can I say that? Yep, that is what I'm saying. I don't think Zverev is going to win any Grand Slams throughout his career. I think the way he threw away that final against Team was just an indication of how bottled up he gets when it gets tight. And I think that was his only opportunity against a player who's not like the big three and also who's didn't play well either. So if you can't clinch that victory, I don't think it's ever going to happen. As Dimitrov is now, we have quite a rally here. Dimitrov now with a backhand slice down the line, which will require NORRIE to scoop it up with his forehand, which he does. Grigor now with a backhand, big backhand with topspin. That's good. NORRIE is able to get there, but it's long. And Grigor Dimitrov breaks to take it to 2-0 in this second set. All right, let's see with relate to the Zverev comment. Okay, so Dream, so Grand Slam is possible, given that he won an ATP 1000. I don't think so. I mean, given the circumstances of that 1000, like, I don't think any of the big three participated. Now, I know the big three won't be there always, but I think by the time they're gone, the next gen will be even better than what they are now. And also, best of 5 versus best of 3, I think the difference is very big. Wow, that's bold. Yeah, that's my Zverev prediction. Zverev can't put himself in there. Yeah, he will keep on doing that, but I just got a feeling it's not going to happen. Cedric saying agree. Is that related to the Zverev comment that he's not going to win a Grand Slam? Nira saying Zverev will surely get at least one, considering that he's managing to work past that awful second serve issue. Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. He should, right? He should win plenty. But if you think about it, like in 2017 already, he was number 3 in the world. And today it's 2022, and he's made one final. So I think it's going to be one of those cases. I think he's going to be 32 and he hasn't won a Grand Slam And it's a shame. It's a shame, really. But I'm going for that prediction. I don't think he's going to win any. It would be interesting to see, predict, how many Grand Slams do you think these players are going to win? Maybe let's play that game. As Grigor comfortably holds his service game to love, and he's up 3-love. Yeah, Charifa confirming that Cam Norrie did win an ATP 1000 Indian Wells. He won against Basilashvili in Indian Wells. And Charifa predicting that Grigor will take the second set 6-2. Interesting. Yeah, Cedric agreeing that Zverev won't win any Grand Slams. Sean saying Zverev is his own worst enemy. Ego through the roof, but no bottle. Yeah, what really, really frustrates me is after the Australian Open, he said, it was just too much pressure and expectations, and that's what then led him to not performing as he could. And then Gil Gross was like, no. Don't complain about there being pressure when you yourself are consistently saying, I'm going to do this. I'm part of the new big three. I'm going to win. I'll put myself in there for every freaking quiz there is. So no, nobody else other than you is placing this pressure on yourself. So don't go about and say it's too much pressure that people are placing on me. It's you yourself that are making these claims and thereby putting this pressure on yourself. So yeah, it's definitely obviously he has the talent to win a Grand Slam. We've known that for very long, but I think mentally, I just don't think it's going to happen. So it's then interesting to say, well, given that he's not going to win any, is what I now confirmed. How many Grand Slams are the others going to win? Who do you think is going to win more Grand Slams between, let's say, okay, so if we had to guess quantities for players like Tsitsipas, Sinner, Alcaraz is obviously a very difficult one to do. But yeah, do you think Tsitsipas is going to win a Grand Slam? Tell me in the chat. Do you think Rublev is going to win a Grand Slam? So let's forget about the 19-year-olds. Let's forget about Sinner, Alcaraz, Rune. The next gen before that, your Zverev, your Tsitsipas, your Rublev. Okay, Medvedev now has a Grand Slam. But it's interesting to see as the next gen before that didn't really achieve anything in terms of Grand Slams, your Raonic, your Dimitrov, your Nishikori, your Goffin. They weren't able to get any slams. And it may appear like the next gen, your Zverev, your Tsitsipas, your Rublev, won't either. But now Medvedev got that one. Team got that one under certain circumstances. Dream Tennis saying that there might be a 5th Grand Slam in the future. And Zverev can win that one. Interesting. I wonder then if there is a 5th Grand Slam, what would it be? Probably Indian Wells, right? Dream Tennis saying when Nadal retires, Tsitsipas might win a Roland Garros. Yeah, I agree. He still has a long career ahead of him. Sean saying, I think Tsitsipas will win a couple. So tell me, Sean, do you think it will be Roland Garros only, or do you also think he has a chance on a hard court to win a Grand Slam title? Norrie serving at 30-15. The backhand of Grigor with a beautiful poetry in motion backhand down the line winner. And it's 30-all. And Grigor is really taking control of the second set. It's nice to see that the loss of that tiebreak, which could have gone any way before that, didn't really get to him mentally. And he's now playing beautiful tennis. Norrie serving second serve at 30-all. Window of opportunity here for Grigor. And Grigor returns with his backhand. And it's a very loopy shot there by Norrie. And again, very loopy. And now they are just hitting it high in the air. And that's a very strange error there by Cam Norrie. He was just hitting it so loopy in the air. Not getting it flat at all. And it's a breakpoint opportunity here for Grigor to take it to 4-love. Breakpoint opportunity. Grigor, a beautiful return with his backhand. Now Grigor with a forehand to the backhand of Norrie hits it in the net, and it's 4-0. It's a break by Grigor Dimitrov. As Grigor leads the set, and it starts with a beautiful ace here, 4-0. If you're enjoying this coverage, consider hitting a like on this video and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Sean saying that TT Pass will get 2 French Opens and 1 Australian Open. Interesting that you went for Australia rather than the US Open, considering that Australia is faster than the US Open. As Grigor tries to go for a cross-court forehand, which goes wide. It's 15 all. Cedric saying that Sinner gets injured way too much. So talented, though. Yeah, I think it's difficult to assess at this stage of his career whether it will be a chronic hurdle to his success. I really hope not. But yeah, at this stage, it does not look very promising in terms of injuries. And I think the same could be said for Rune with the cramps that he gets. Ace there by Grigor, as he tries to take it 5-0. And then I think the bakery could be open here. I did not see that coming. Looking at the first set where it was so tight. Oh, it's another ace there by Grigor. Serving aces at will at the moment. "30 match winners there so far by Grigor, which would then, I assume, include all these aces he is currently hitting. That's another ace. That's another ace. Just too easy. And Grigor takes that game 5-0. And where has the set gone? I mean, suddenly Grigor up 5-0 in the second set. Somebody did predict 6-2. Where is that prediction? I can't find it now. Somebody did predict a 6-2 for the second set. Yeah, Cherifa said Dimitrov to take the second set 6-2. So you're very close. And you could still be correct as well if we see a break here by Cam. But the way Grigor is now serving, I don't think Cam is getting close to that ball. Sean saying, I Googled which was slower. It said Australian. Damn Reddit. Yeah, so maybe that's a different year. Maybe that was long ago. But I'm pretty sure that Australian Open is faster than the US Open. Especially now with the US Open with the roof. I think that made the court slower with the US Open, as there's no wind inside, and somehow I think that makes it slower. Don't ask me to explain the technicalities of that, but I think the US Open court definitely became slower throughout the years. It'll be interesting to check the court speeds. I'm gonna Google here tennis court speed index. Right, we have one here. There's this nice graphic usually. I don't see that now. Maybe I should Google images it. Yeah, here we go. Okay, which year is this? Oh, but these now don't include the Grand Slams. So it's a bit difficult to see the Grand Slams. Yeah, not sure. As Norrie is now serving, now with the forehand, Grigor in control of this rally. Norrie is able to get to that ball. Now we have a cross court there by Grigor, and he can't get to that other ball. And it's 30 love for Cam Norrie in this game. It's also good to see that both players physically is 100%. It's always a pity to see one player struggling physically, but it seems like both players are moving very well. It's 40 love for Cam Norrie. I guess the set is over, but holding a game would be nice, I guess, to avoid the bagel. Norrie serving an ace. And Norrie takes that game to love. And he now has his first game on the board for the second set. And Grigor will now be serving for the second set and get a breadstick. Devon saying it's more dry in Australia too, so that clay is fast. Oh, okay, that's interesting. So are there clay courts in Australia that are then also quite fast for clay due to the air? That is interesting. Court speed indexes are super helpful. Yeah, I get Google images here, but it's not difficult to see which year is it referring to. So, but I know, like, from memory, I think the Australian Open is actually faster than Wimbledon, strangely enough, as Grigor is now up 30 love. And then with regards to the hard courts, I know Shanghai is very fast. World Tour Finals, very fast. Paris, indoor courts, I think, is also very fast. And then you look at, and Cincinnati is also very fast. And then you have your slower courts like Indian Wells and Miami. Grigor now serving at 30 love, and he goes to the net and he tries to hit it in the air directly, but he pulls that wide and it's 30-15. Daily Dose asking, is Norrie injured? Not at all, as far as I can see. I think he's moving very well. The first set was very tight, if you're just joining. Could have gone anyway, but then the tiebreak, Grigor did some strange unforced errors. But in the second set, I mean, Grigor's serve is just impossible to do anything with at this stage. So no, Norrie is not playing badly, in my opinion. It's just Grigor now streamrolling with his serve in the second set. Norrie now hitting that ball wide as 40-15 and 2 set points for Grigor on his own serve. It's a fault. Second serve. As a double fault. Oh, you can see why he went for it. I mean, he's so far ahead. Not really any pressure. Another set point for Grigor. Fault in the net. Second serve. Grigor serving at 40-30, 5-1 in the second set. So it's in the middle of the box. Grigor now with a forehand to the backhand of Norrie. Nice angle there by both players. Dimitrov hits that wide, but he's challenging it. Let's see. He does have a lot of challenges left, and it does touch the line. And what is the conclusion now going to be? Is it replay the point, or is it... Yeah, it's replay the point. 40-30. And Grigor says Norrie's not able to get that ball back, and he takes the second set very comfortably with a breadstick. 6-1. And that's a spectacular set of tennis there by Grigor. I must say, it's not that Cam Norrie played poorly at all. It was just Grigor's serve. You can't do anything about that. And he's able to keep that level for the third set. I can think that this can be a very comfortable third set for Grigor as well. Tell me in the chat for this final set, what is your predictions for the set and therefore this match? All right, let's see what's going to happen in this third and final set between the previous champion, Grigor Dimitrov, and the previous finalist, Cameron Norrie. Dream Tennis and my prediction, 5 years, Russian, Belarusians teams would be very good on clay and not in grass. Well, I think it's interesting to see overall these young guns seem to be clay court players and maybe not as good on hard courts and then also grass. And I guess it has a lot to do with like when you are progressing through the early stages of your career, you play on clay the most, not get as much exposure on the grass. And then they might easily decide, like when they get to the grass the first time, it feels uncomfortable. And then they immediately decide, ooh, I'm not a grass court player. I'm a clay court player. And I think that's a dangerous mindset. And I think coaches should be wary, like they shouldn't make that conclusion too early on in their careers, because I think for any player, playing on grass initially is going to feel uncomfortable. But you shouldn't now decide after feeling uncomfortable the first few years, okay, I'm not a grass court player. You can, as we've seen many players struggle on grass initially and then become very good grass court players. Anya saying Grigor is going to take this 6-4. Yeah, sorry, Ben, my stream is a bit behind. I'm going to refresh. The reason for this is that the streaming site I usually use doesn't seem to broadcast Queen, so I'm using a different streaming site. But I would be, let's refresh this quickly again. See whether that helps. All right, we'll see if this helps a little bit. Daily Doe saying that Dimitrov is going to win this match, or the set, 6-3. Okay, so we've got quite a few Dimitrov predictions here. Dream Tennis saying Grigor will take it 6-4. All right, so far all the predictions are going in the way of Grigor. I guess due to him demolishing Cam Norrie in the second set at will. He was just serving ace, ace, ace and going for winners after that first serve. Davey asking for a comeback for Cam Norrie. Can happen. I think it all depends on Grigor's serve. If he's able to keep on serving as he did in the second set, I don't think there's much that Cam Norrie can do about it. As Cam Norrie is now serving to the backhand of Grigor, and it has a lot of bounce there. Difficult for the one-handed backhand for Grigor to return. Now a slice there by Grigor, which goes in the nets, and at first point on the game on the board for Cam Norrie. KC that Cam will take the 7-6. Okay, we're going to another tiebreak. Slice return there by Grigor on his backhand. Cam is at the net and he has that away for a winner, and it's 30 love. Cam Norrie serving a fault, second serve. That was a big second serve, and Cam Norrie shanks that. It goes out. And it's 30-15. All right, Cass asking, is it first to 2 sets? Yes. So how it works, this is an ATP 500 tournament. So the 500 represents how many points you will get if you win this tournament. So you've got 250s, you've got 500s, you have 1000s. All of them are based out of 3 sets. So it means then that you have to win 2 sets of those 3 to win the match. And then Grand Slams is best out of 5 sets for the men, but best out of 3 still for the women. So when it's best out of 5, then you have to win 3 sets, which from an endurance perspective is quite a tall ask. Norrie serving at 40-15 to the backhand of Grigor. A nice block return, maybe not as deep as he wanted to. And Dimitrov is stopping the play. He thinks that ball by Norrie was long, and I do agree with him. It did look long. Let's see whether Grigor is correct. And Grigor was right there, so he should know. Ooh, and does touch the line. All right. Bad judgment there by Grigor, although he probably would have lost the point anyway. And his first game on the board in the set for Cameron Norrie. Let's hope from a neutral perspective that this set can be a bit more tight than the first one.
One thing that is true, he knows what to do. Don't worry, for Cam Norrie's heading through. If one thing that is true, he knows what to do. Knows what to do. Don't worry, Cam Norrie's heading through.
And Grigor will now be serving in this third set. And let's see whether he can keep up the amazing serve games that he was able to produce in the second set. Fault. Second serve. It's a deep serve there by Grigor now with a good forehand. Grigor now running around his backhand to go for a cross-court forehand. Norrie is able to get that back, but he's not hitting it in the middle of the racket. And Grigor goes with the forehand down the line, and it's just beautiful play there. And he looks so comfortable on court, I must say, especially for his first cross-court match for this year. 15 love for Grigor. And I want to mention, once again, because if I'm right, it's going to be ridiculous, I got Grigor winning this tournament on my fantasy app. And I must say, so far, it's looking very, very good. 30 love for Grigor. It's a fault. So according to the umpires, it's in, but that's definitely a fault. Well, I've been wrong now previously as well, so maybe I'm incorrect, but let's see. That looked long to me. And the Hawkeye replay shows that it is out. Second serve. Not even close. But I mean, it is very difficult to see live. I remember when I watched tennis in Shanghai, I was like, how on earth can you see whether those balls are in or not? It's so fast. Norrie is that return in the nets. It's 40 love. Grigor serving. There's a good return there by Cam Norrie as Grigor now goes to the net and he smashes it away for a winner. And it's a game to love for Grigor Dimitrov. All right, and it's one game apiece as Norrie is serving to the forehand of Grigor. Norrie now approaching the net, but he retreats. Dimitrov hits that long, and it's 15 love for Cam Norrie. Daily Dose is a Dimitrov fan. I must say I am as well. Generally, I'm a fan of his play, and also I've got him to win the tournament, so I'm obviously hoping that he wins this match. Yeah, so I always said, like, people always ask me, like, who am I rooting for if Federer retires? And Dimitrov was my answer in 2013, as it looked at that stage like Federer is approaching the end of his career. And it also looked like Dimitrov looked very promising. So that was my answer because their styles are so similar. It's just a joy to watch. Now, Federer is still not retired yet, and Dimitrov, it can probably now be considered a veteran on the tour. But still very, very nice to see him playing when he's playing well with that oil painting of the backhand. Truly is poetry in motion. Norrie serving at 15 all to the backhand of Grigor, who slices it back. And now Grigor tries to go for an angle forehand. Now a slice by Grigor into the net, and it's 30-15. And we have a result here. Pliskova beats Kanepi. 6-7, 6-love, 6-love. Wow. All right. Was Kanepi like injured, or how did that happen? Question, who wins? Tell me exactly. Well, Grigor is winning this match. I'm predicting that he's going to take this set. I haven't thought about it yet. I'm going for 7-5. And it's a game by NORRIE, and he leads in this third set, and he's pumping the crowd up. He's like, come on, give me some support here. He's up 2-1 in this third and final set.
One thing that is true, he knows what to do. Don't worry, for Cam Norrie's heading through. If one thing that is true, he knows what to do. Knows what to do. Don't worry, Cam Norrie's heading through.
If you are just joining me for this match, consider hitting the like button on this video and subscribe to Game to Love if you are new. We are watching the start of Queens, a grass court tournament warm-up for Wimbledon. Last week, we had some tournaments in Stuttgart, as well as that place in the Netherlands that I'm not going to try to pronounce. And now we are at Queens and Halle. And then later on, we will be at Wimbledon. And it's such a joy to watch the grass here, especially in the beginning of a tournament where the grass is still in such good condition. Green grass there with a beautiful atmosphere. Lovely. Daily Dose saying, I'm going for Grigor to take this set 6-4. What is the match end time? That's difficult to say in tennis. You never know. It could be another 15 minutes. It could be another hour. Yeah, so that's very difficult to say, as tennis is not time bound, but all depends on the score. Dan asking, how do you watch it live? So I'm following it on the Tennis TV app. Ooh, and there's a nasty fall there on court 1. Is that Musetti or Bublik? That's Musetti. Oh, that does not look good. I don't think he's going to finish that match. So let's see what happened there. Yeah, his foot slid on the grass there, especially in the shade where it's probably a little bit wet. And it does not look good. Tell me in the chat, in the score of, let's see quickly here on Google, did they finish that match or not? Bublik. They're still playing. Bublik took the first set 6-3, and they're in the first game of the second set. Let's see what's happening in Halle as well. Halle tennis. Albert Humbe is playing. Albert took the first set in a tiebreak, and now it seems like the second set is going to be a tiebreak as well. Interesting. As we discussed earlier, Basilashvili beat Rublev in straight sets, which is quite an upset. And Pablo Carreno Busta beat Holger Rune in straight sets as well. Jer beat the wildcard Squire, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, with a walkover. And then later today, we have Ivashka versus Struff. Dan saying it's going to be 7-6 Norrie in the tiebreak of the second set. How's the crowd in the stadium? Well, it's packed. There are a lot of people. And they are now, actually, as you speak, I wanted to say that they are fairly quiet. But now, as Norrie got that point at 30-all, they are now trying to get behind their local player. Dan asking, what is a walkover exactly? So that's when the match doesn't finish. The player basically says, I'm done, I lost. And it's usually due to an injury. So you are injured and then you stop the match and then you won by a walkover. So it's almost like winning by default, but the match already started and then you won by a walkover. So that happened in the French Open as well. As you might know, Nadal was playing Zverev and Nadal won the first set in tiebreak after Zverev was up 6-2 in the tiebreak. Nadal came back and won that first set. And then the second set was also very tight. And then just when the tiebreak of that set needed to start, Zverev got a horrible injury and Nadal won that match by walkover. And Cam Norrie has a breakpoint opportunity here in the third set. So Dan asking, is that the same as retire? Yes. So you win by walkover if the opponent retired mid-match. Right. Breakpoint opportunity here, but it's a good serve there by Grigor. Norrie's not able to return that, and it's deuce. Yeah, dancing, that was a nasty injury. Felt bad. Yeah, it was horrible to watch. Like when they showed the replay, I had to look away. I unfortunately saw pictures of it, but oh, that's bad. It was just bad to see. As Dimitrov is serving at deuce, it's a good wide serve, and now he's hitting the ball the other way. Norrie tries to pass him, but it goes wide, and it's advantage for Grigor Dimitrov. So as we know, on grass, it is more difficult to convert your break points, as the serve is much more potent on grass than it is on clay. Norrie now with the backhand down the line. Grigor with a slice. Norrie now with the forehand to the backhand of Grigor. Now Grigor with a forehand in the net, and we're back to deuce. Deuce at 1-2. Grigor serving an ace. There's nothing you can do about that. Ace down the tee as advantage Dimitrov. So it's 15 aces so far today by Grigor Dimitrov. It's fantastic. And 7 by Cam Norrie. Grigor serving at advantage. And it seems like it's an ace, but Norrie is going to challenge that. I was a bit confused there what happened. And the serve, oh no, it's far wide. That's a very, very bad call there by the umpire. Second serve. And Norrie tries to return that for a winner, but it goes wide. And it's 2 games all. And it's a good hold there by Dimitrov as he faced break point. All right, so this third set is already much tighter than the second set was, as Cam Norrie is serving at 2 games all, and it's a good serve there. Grigor tries to go for a slice, but Cam Norrie is at the net. He puts that volley away. 15 love. And the umpires are now confirming it's bad news for Musetti, and the Italian had to retire from that match due to injury against Bublik. And we can just hope that he will be fine for Wimbledon. Norrie serving at second serve at 15 love. The forehand of Grigor goes down the line with his forehand, and Grigor's in control of this rally. He goes for a nice backhand down the line, now with a backhand slice. Now Grigor with a backhand slice once again. Norrie now with the backhand to the forehand of Grigor. It's it in the net, and it's 30 love for Cam Norrie. Daily Dose hoping that Grigor can break him. Well, Norrie looks comfortable at the moment. Right, let's see. It's a very, very good return there by Grigor, and it's 30-15. I must say, if Norrie loses here today, well, for either player, actually, to be honest, it's quite unfortunate because both of them have been playing very well and they look so comfortable on the grass. So if I feel like a first round loss would not really reflect how well they've done at this tournament, as both of them have been playing quite well. There are definitely players that are progressing to the second round who's playing much worse than these two. Norrie now serving to the forehand of Grigor. It's a good serve. Grigor's not able to get that back, and it's 40-15. Casey asking, Haman, what are your predictions for Halle and Bet one? I'm not sure what Bet one is. So my predictions for Halle are quite bold. I have Goffan making the final. Yeah. And I've got him losing in the final against Felix. So saying Felix, oh, that's a beautiful return there by Grigor. He just saw that ball like a football and got that for a return winner down the line. Yeah, so I've got Goffan making the final. I've got Felix beating him in the final. So my winner prediction isn't that bold. I know Ben and JG also has Felix winning that tournament. But I guess Goffan making it that far is quite a bold prediction. And then, as you might know, I've said previously, oh, and it's a attempted volley there by NORRIE, which didn't work out in its use. And for this tournament, I actually have Grigor Dimitrov winning the whole thing. Oh, Bet one is the women's in Berlin. Oh, I didn't know that. So I don't know the draw there at all, unfortunately. So I can't comment on that. So I'm asking, who's the best looking man in tennis, Dimitrov or Haman? Well, that's obviously me. As confirmed by MJ. Thank you very much. What question is that? Obviously. All right, let's see here. At deuce. Oh, it's a good forehand there by Dimitrov for a winner, and he is at advantage breakpoints opportunity for NORRIE. And Marcin Dimitrov is looking very, very good. MJ, I made Asian chicken chard wrap. Decided to stay at home today. Interesting. I am actually quite hungry myself, especially when I read that. Breakpoint opportunity here by Grigor. Let's see if we can convert. Fault second serve, which on grass is a very big opportunity to then convert on the second serve. And it's a forehand return by Grigor. And now Grigor with a forehand, it clips not over the net. It clipped on the net and then it bounced backwards. That could have gone over. And it's deuce. And NORRIE will be very relieved. Hey, Carlton, how are you doing? Nice to see you again. Tell me, what time is it now in Australia? Delido saying NORRIE's done. He's overrated. Well, I feel he is facing a quality opponent today, so I don't think we should be too harsh if he's not able to win this match. Grigor now going for a backhand pass, and he does. Oh, that was beautiful. NORRIE went to the net, and Grigor went for an oil painting of a backhand passing shot. That's beautiful. And it's another break points opportunity here for Grigor Dimitrov. And I do apologize, my stream is a bit behind with the scoreboard. On my stream, NORRIE is now serving. Grigor tries for a block return, which goes in. Grigor now with a backhand cross-court, but I don't think it's deep enough, and it wasn't. NORRIE's at the net, he puts away the volley. And we're back to deuce again. And now the crowd is really getting involved and trying to spur on their local man, Cam NORRIE, as he saves 2 break points, which can be crucial in this third and final set. Colin saying it's almost 2 a.m. Work shifts have screwed my sleep up, but tennis will get me through. 2 a.m., yeah, that's quite late. So what time are you then waking tomorrow? Hopefully not like at 8, because that's in a few hours. As NORRIE is serving second serve at deuce to the backhand of Grigor. That's a very attacking slice there by Grigor. Now Grigor with the forehand to the forehand of Cam NORRIE. He's a lefty. Now Cam NORRIE with the forehand to the forehand of Grigor, who's in control of this rally, I must say, as he's stepping in, and NORRIE hits that ball long and it's advantage Grigor. So that return slice, we've talked about now previously throughout this match about the effectiveness of the block return. But I think also what's very effective is the slice, which is like an attacking slice, like you're slicing butter, which Federer is so good at, and there Dimitrov there as well. It's a slice, but it's not a defensive slice. It's really an attacking slice, as it's another break points opportunity here for Dimitrov. That's a good serve there by Cam NORRIE. Dimitrov is not able to get that back, and we're back to deuce. I'm just saying, clients are asking me to file 20 times 21. Where they did go. I don't understand that reference. Is that tax reference from your country that I don't understand? Not sure what you do for a living, MJ. Sorry. All right, let's see. Cam Norrie now hitting to the forehand of Grigor Dimitrov. Grigor, I say, is in control of this rally at the moment as he's stepping in down the line with a forehand. That's beautiful play there by Grigor Dimitrov, and he has another break points opportunity. Colton saying that he doesn't have any time, that he needs to wake up, so whenever I wake up. Jasmina asking Austin the question, please. Okay, so I guess the answer is, who is Bjorn Borg? He's a former tennis player in the era of John McEnroe, and he was very, very good. He won 12 Grand Slams, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And he retired very early in his career. I think like at the age of 24 or something. So a lot of people say that he could have won so many more tournaments had he just kept on playing. But as soon as he like started losing a tournament, then he's like, no, I don't want to play anymore. But he was very, very good and very versatile. As Cam Norrie serves a double fault, and that's just a bad way for this very tight game to end. Grigor takes the break, and it's up 3 games to 2. All right, and it's a break there by Grigor Dimitrov, and I think he's now comfortably in control of this third and final set. So Casey asks you, are you accountant, MJ? MJ saying, yes, I mainly do taxes, and the clients that I get currently always get backed up again. Okay, I'm actually accountant myself, but I don't know that tax reference, probably because it's not my country. Yeah, so I'm an accounting lecturer, which I love doing. Like, practice was just not for me. I didn't like it. But I knew I wanted to be a lecturer, like when I was in school already. I knew I want to become a lecturer. So practice just wasn't for me, but I love lecturing. Oh, Daily Dose saying, I told you, Dimitrov is going to break him, and he does. It's unfortunate the way that it did with a double fault, but that being said, Grigor was in control of that game, so I feel like he does deserve that game in the end. Casing, I need to call my accountant today. I'm the problem client. Yeah, so Cajun guy confirming it's 11 Grand Slams. Okay, so I said 12. I was wrong. It's 11. Won 5 Wimbledons in a row. That's very impressive. And tell me, what was his age when he retired? I think it's like 24 or 25. I just know that he retired at a very, very young age. And then he tried to make a comeback once, which didn't work. And then he retired again after playing one more match. So how do I know JG and Ben? I basically auditioned. So I followed the channel now for like a year. So I'm a big fan of Game to Love. And then on Twitter, there was a audition advertisements. And then I was like, okay, cool. I want to audition for this. And then I had a trial run. And yeah, now I'm a guest commentator, which I enjoy doing. Chirifa commenting on Tim van Rithoven played a lot of points with the same slice. It was really refreshing to see a player using some classic Federer tricks. I think Tsitsipas could use some advice from Tim. Yeah, so I actually didn't watch that tournament at all. I read about, I saw the highlights with against Felix. I didn't watch the highlights against Medvedev. But yeah, it's just insane how he won that tournament. But it's nice to hear then from you that he has an attacking slice. As you say, Federer is like the textbook player of how to hit an attacking slice. And it's cool to see then that somebody else does it as well. And I agree 100%. The major thing holding Tsitsipas back on these faster surfaces, and especially on grass, is the slice. He really needs to work on that. And what's odd is obviously he knows that, right? It's not like, if I'm not going to say like, Tsitsipas, you need to work on your slice. He's not going to be like, oh, okay, thank you. I mean, he knows that. So it's just strange to me that at that level, they are not able to fix that? Because you would think that's the thing you're going to practice every day. So I don't know how they're not able to fix that, to be honest. Okay, so Cherifa saying that Bjorn Borg. Oh, that's just beautiful there by Dimitrov with a massive running forehand down the line. And it takes that point at love 15. Yeah, so Bjorn Borg retired at 26, which is very, very young. Oscar asking who's winning. Grigor Dimitrov is playing some amazing tennis. And he's up a break in the third set, 4-2. I must say, Dimitrov is playing really, really well today. And so far, my prediction of him winning the tournament doesn't seem that ridiculous, to be honest. I think he's playing really, really well. As we have a slice return there by Grigor, and now with the topspin backhand by Grigor. Now with the forehand to the backhand of Cam Norrie, but it hits very short. Grigor tries to go for a topspin forehand, which goes long, and it's 30-15. So the rationale behind my choosing Dimitrov to win this tournament is because I thought that he played really, really well in the clay court season. And if he plays that well on clay, which is not his favorite surface, I feel like he should do even better on grass. So that's why I went for Grigor, especially also with the success at this tournament historically, having won it before and also made the semifinals of Wimbledon before. So I feel like Grigor was in really good form overall. And I think the grass would really emphasize his strong points at this stage as well. As for 15, Norrie trying to make sure that it's only one break behind. And he serves the forehand of Grigor, who is not able to get the ball back in play. And it's 4-3 for Cam Norrie. Only one break behind.
One thing that is true, he knows what to do. Don't worry, for Cam Norrie's heading through. If one thing that is true, he knows what to do. Knows what to do. Don't worry, Cam Norrie's heading through.
All right, so there's only the one break. Can Norrie try to then break here? And suddenly then anything can happen. At this stage, it looks like Dimitrov deserves this match, in my opinion. I see also Daily Doe saying that Grigor should have been Grigor in straight sets. Yeah, well, both players played very well in the first set. And in the tiebreak, Grigor just made some strange decision-making with regards to his shot selection. Shurifa saying Tsitsipas definitely knows that he should work on his slice backhand. Stuttgart showed that he's been working on it, but it's still not there. So who did he lose against again in Stuttgart? It was against Murray. It was against Murray, yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how he does in this cross-court tournament. Now, also, I can't remember on top of my head what he's playing. Remind me in the chat quickly. Is he playing Halle? I think he's playing Halle, right? But I can't remember like his draw. I just know that from my picks for my fantasy league, I don't have him progressing very far. Oh, I had him losing against a big server, but now I can't remember who that is. Let's see here. No, I can't remember. Michael, yeah, congratulations. I gave you an applause at the end of that first set when you predicted the tiebreak correctly. Well done on that. It's a double fault there by Dimitrov starting his game. Bit shaky in his love 15. Dimitrov serving. Tries to go for the ace down the tee, but it's wide. Second serve. To the backhand of Cam. And it's a very good backhand down the line there by Cam Norrie. Now Grigor with his own backhand down the line. And now Grigor with a forehand. And he hits it wide there, Grigor. And this is a chance for Norrie at love 30. Dimitrov was there at the net. It was an easy winner, but he decided to go for a bigger winner than what it have needed to be. And it's love 30. And this is a big opportunity here for Norrie to level up. Can Dimitrov hold his nerves? Will his serve let him down at this crucial stage? It's a first serve, but it's quite a safe serve, and it's a deep return there by Cam Norrie, who now hits it away for a winner, and it's love 40, and it's 3 breakpoint opportunities there for Cam Norrie. Wow, wow, wow. I did not see this coming. Cedric asking, what does Cam need to improve? Well, at this stage, he's looking very good, and he can equal it up at 4-all. Let's see. Grigor serving. First serve is in. Grigor now with the forehand to the backhand of Cam Norrie. Is it in the net? And it's 15-40. So with regards to what can Cam Norrie improve, I just think he has a ceiling in terms of the talent that he has. So I don't think really like what he needs to improve. I think realistically you have to say, well, he's not going to win a Grand Slam. So what he needs to improve? No, I don't think he plays badly. It's just that when it comes to top opponents, they're just going to be better than him. Cam Norrie now with a backhand there. Grigor is taking control of this rally as he's attacking, but is he going to make an error? No, it's another error there by Cam Norrie in the net, and it's another breakpoint save there by Grigor Dimitrov, and it's 30-40. And the crowd is now cheering him on, saying, come on. This is your last breakpoint opportunity maybe for this game. And Grigor is now serving at 30-40. Can Norrie get his third chance on this breakpoint? And he can't. It's this ace by Grigor. Great serving there. Clutch, as they would say. And we're on deuce from love 40. We're back to deuce. All right, let's see. Grigor Dimitrov serving. It's a fault. Second serve. Grigor now with the big forehand. It goes deep. Grigor now with a big forehand winner, and it's advantage. Grigor Dimitrov. Let's see, advantage here. It's now like, 4 points in a row for Grigor Dimitrov at this stage. Can he make it 5 in a row? And it's a shank return there by Norrie. It's a big serve, and Grigor does hold. And it's 5 games for 3. Saves 3 break points. Very impressive hold there by Grigor Dimitrov. All right, let's see. Cam Norrie serving to stay in this match. To the backhand of Grigor. He tries for a slice return, Grigor, but it just scoops wide. And it's 15 love for Cam Norrie. Fault, second serve. Slice return there by Grigor Dimitrov, who now goes for a running forehand to the backhand of Cam Norrie. Grigor in control, and he is it for a winner, and it's 15-all. And it seems like Grigor, throughout this match, is taking more initiative, right? Cam Norrie is just hitting the ball back and hoping for the best, while Grigor is really taking the initiative. And I think we would look at the stats, we would see that same thing. Okay, can't see winners there at the match stats. But I feel like Grigor has been taking more incentive as he once again steps in, and Norrie hits that wide, and it's 15-30. And I also feel like Grigor, when the time is right, he steps into the court and tries to take control of the rally. KC is a Cam Norrie supporter. But Grigor is 2 points away from taking this match. As he serves a fault, Norrie. to the backhand of Grigor. Oh, and that's a good get there by Cam Norrie. Now Grigor is doing all the running, and he tries to lift that ball over the net, but he's not able to get there, Dimitrov, and it's point for Cam Norrie. 30 all at 5 games to 3 for Dimitrov. Norrie is serving. I'm always so scared when I start running and sliding on the grass. Because if you slip, then as we saw with Massetti earlier today, it can get dangerous. As Norrie is now serving to the backhand of Grigor Dimitrov. It clips the net, but it goes over. And now it's a forehand by Grigor, who's once again taking the initiative here with a backhand down the line. Norrie's able to get there though. Now Grigor with a big forehand to the backhand of Cam Norrie, and it's deep in, but Grigor's able to get a nice slice return there. And he takes the point, Grigor Dimitrov. And it's match point for Grigor Dimitrov.
Match point.
All right, let's see what happens over here. Norrie serving at 30-40. To the backhand of Grigor, whose return is long, and we're back to deuce. And the crowd is now really getting pumped here. Norrie now serving at deuce. An ace. Grigor is going to challenge this. I think he's just hoping for something. He has challenges left. It's almost the end of the match. He can just as well go for the challenge. And Hawkeye confirms that, oh, it just touched the line. That's just in. And it's advantage for Cam Norrie. Can he make Grigor serve for this match? Game point for Norrie. He serves. Grigor tries to return it down the line, but it goes wide. And it's a hold, and a very, very important hold here for Cam Norrie as he survives.
One thing that is true, he knows what to do. Don't worry, Cam Norrie's heading through. If one thing that is true, he knows what to do. Knows what to do. Don't worry, Cam Norrie's heading through.
So Grigor Dimitrov will be forced to serve out this match. We saw Cam Norrie have breakpoint opportunities in Grigor's previous service game. So now the question is, can Grigor Dimitrov hold his nerves and serve out this match, or is there a twist in the tail? Thank you for joining me at the moment here. Consider hitting a like on this video and subscribe to the Game to Love channel if you are new, as we will see whether Grigor Dimitrov will be able to serve out the match or with the local hero. Make sure that this is a different story. We've seen Dimitrov hit 18 aces throughout this match thus far, which is very, very impressive, versus the 8 aces hit by Cam Norrie this far. But Grigor's service game has been really good. And not only the serve itself, but also the follow-up shot. As soon as he hits a good first serve, he's up there and ready to hit the next ball for a winner, as they now get to their baselines. And Grigor will serve for this match at 5 games to 4. Oscar asking, who do you think is going to win? I'm going for Grigor. Dan is also saying Grigor is going to take this with a game to love. Let's find out, as he will be serving. Serving for the match. Big first serve, and now he's going for a big forehand to the backhand of Cam Norrie. Tries to go down the line, but it's in the net of Cam Norrie, and it's 15 love. MJ asking, of the big three, who do I like the most? If that question is for me, so I'm a big Federer fan. I do respect the others as well, though. But I'm a very, very big Federer fan. I went to watch him in Shanghai in 2017, which was a dream come true. Second serve by Grigor Dimitrov at 15 love. To the backhand of Cam Norrie, goes down the line. It's a good return there by Cam Norrie. Dimitrov hits that long, and it's 15 all. And as you might expect, the crowd is now getting involved. 15-all. Dimitrov serving down the tee to the backhand of Norrie as a block return, but it's effective. Grigor now with a slice backhand, and now we will go for a topspin backhand to the backhand of Cam Norrie. It's in the net, just too low, and it's 30-15. And it's good to see that variety there. And I must say, we haven't seen a lot of slicing by Norrie today, but Grigor really utilizing his variability of his backhand there, showing all the things he can do. 30-15. Serving, big serve to the backhand of Cam Norrie. Cam now with the backhand cross court. Grigor now with the forehand down the line, which goes deep, but Cam is able to get there. Grigor in control though, and here's that for a forehand winner. It's 40 games to 15, and it's 2 match points on his serve.
Match point.
All right, and it's match points for Grigor Dimitrov. MJ asking who's the bigger fan, Federer fan, I or Liam? It's definitely me, without a doubt. I bake him a birthday cake each year on his birthday, the 8th of August. As Grigor is now serving at match point. As a good return, though, by Cam Norrie. And now Grigor with a forehand to the backhand of Cam Norrie, who's able to get there. Grigor now down the line with a forehand, which is in. And the Norrie game goes long, and it's point for Grigor Dimitrov, and it takes this game and therefore the match. It's 6-7, 6-1, 6-4. Well done to baby-fed Grigor Dimitrov, feeding of the local hero Cameron Norrie. And it's a very, very impressive performance there by Grigor Dimitrov. I feel for Cam Norrie. I think like his draw is very unfortunate to get someone like Grigor Dimitrov in your first round. But nevertheless, it's a very good win there for Cam Norrie. Tell me in the chat, are you happy? Who did you root for? Unfortunate for British fans that the hero Cam Norrie was not able to get this through. It's a win for Grigor Dimitrov. And as I've stated earlier, I've got him winning the tournament. So far, so good for my predictions with the later two. Grigor Dimitrov, who we know can be very, very dangerous on the grass courts. Yeah, MJ saying, okay, Grigor did it. He is a baby fed. Yeah, I must say his action looks so similar to Roger Federer. It's probably been a bit unrealistic to compare them at the early stages of their careers. But for now, Grigor looks very, very dangerous. And I'll watch him throughout the rest of this grass court season. Chura for saying that was a really satisfying win. Yeah, I must say for me, it was quite good to see. I think that the tiebreak was so disappointing to see making those errors, but then suddenly his serve was just streamrolling there at 6-1. And then also, I must say, Cam Norrie didn't really take the initiative throughout this match. It was always depending on Grigor's racket. Like it was either a Grigor error or a Grigor winner. So in the end, Grigor is rewarded for taking those risks, and he's through to the next round. Let's see who he's playing next. MJ saying back to work. All right, good luck over there. Before you leave, consider hitting a like on this video, as I'll just spend a few more minutes looking at the remainder of the draw for Queens. One saying very happy for Grigor's game is very good on grass. Yes, it is. It's very, very good, especially that versatile backhand. He can slice. He can go for a top spin backhand down the line. He can block return. He can do a knife slice as an attacking shot. Very, very versatile over there. All right, let's see. So the winner of this match will face the winner of Paul Jubb, who's a qualifier from Great Britain, and Botic van de Zandschulp. So probably I'm thinking he will be facing Botic van de Zandschulp, and I'm liking his chances. And then if he's able to get through that match, he will probably be facing, would have been Riley Opelka, but he's out. So we will then probably be facing Alex de Minaur. So I'll favor him there as well. And then we get to the semifinals after that. Suddenly he's in the semifinal. And then, I mean, from there, anything can happen, right? So I didn't think Grigor winning this tournament is that ridiculous. So in the semifinal, he's then poised to face probably Berrettini. Okay, that's going to be a tough ask. So I think Berrettini, that will maybe be too much for him, but I'm hoping that he can have some nice block returns on the big Berrettini serve. And then in the final, that will probably be Cilic. in my opinion. I know JG went for Jack Draper, probably more a wish than a think it will happen. I don't know. But maybe Chilik in the final. That would be nice to see. I don't think we should write off Casper Ruud. He can surprise people. I mean, he is very talented. But as this is not a 250, I'm not expecting him to go very far. Ouch, that was a bit harsh. So let's see in the chat. Sean saying Norrie doesn't have the Dimitrov flair. Yeah, so from an aesthetic point of view, watching the game, I would say it's just more fun to watch Grigor play from a neutral perspective. Obviously, if you're a Britain fan, you hope Cam Norrie can pull this through. Unfortunately, not today. Tough draw, though. Tough draw. So I don't think it's that bad for Wimbledon, for Cam Norrie. I still think with an easier draw at Wimbledon, he can do something there as well. MJ Singer, Berrettini looking good too. He's looking very good. I mean, to be out for so long and then come back and just win the tournament quickly, that's very, very impressive. And I think he's poised probably to win this tournament as well. All right. Well, that's then it from my side. Thank you, everybody, for joining me here today. Hope you enjoy the coverage. Before you leave, consider hitting a like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new. And I will see you later on in Queens or Halle or any of the other tournaments currently at play again. Thank you for joining me here today. Hope you the coverage and see you soon. Goodbye.